So, of course, this is what it's all about, the Mandelbulb. And it's a 3D object. That's true 3D. You can actually create that object in real life, and it would be a perfectly 3D object. But first of all, I'm going to start with some history on the 2D Mandelbrot. Has anyone who's heard of the Mandelbrot? Anyone? A good majority of you by the looks of it. I suppose, well, maybe many of you have heard of the 3D version as well, the 3D Mandelbulb. So, first of all, though, before we discuss any of this, I'm just going to. How many of you have seen this shape? A good majority of you, again, by the looks of it. Of course, this is the Sierpinski triangle, and it's, of course, it's a kind of fractal which goes on forever. You can. It's a triangle, of course, and then you can take the triangle, flip it upside down, create a big one in the middle, and then you can put at each of the remaining triangles, you can put a triangle inside that. I'll just very quickly show. It looks as though the rim of the window is going slightly beyond the TV here, so I'm just going to resize it. And then we can have a look. So of course we have the initial triangle, and then we can, I'm sure many of you will know what I'm going to do here, but I'm just for a few who might still be guessing. We take this triangle shape, and then we, I'm blocking the camera, I'm blocking the camera. Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. And then we can change colour, and of course then we can flip this upside down, half the size, and then you can put the triangle first of all in the centre, half the size again. And of course you can half the size of the triangle again, and of course, and then this can be repeated ad infinitum, and you can constantly be creating more and more triangles as part of to create, and that's just one of the ways of creating. Oops. So let's move on to the next slide, and of course there are more triangles. You can, and of course the natural fractals as well. This is, I bet many of you have seen this by the so how many of you have seen this? It's out of interest. About half of you there. So this is Romanesco broccoli, and it is a real vegetable. This is a photograph which you, came off a site called McQuell.com, that's how you pronounce it, MIQELs. I'll give you the notes. Oh, actually, I'll give you some of the notes now, just in case any of you have to leave early. All the references to anything in this presentation you can find on here. So, if you could take one that's along. And it's a real photograph. It's a real, of course it's a real photograph. It's a vegetable. It's a lot more beautiful and more interesting. And apparently I've heard it tastes nice as well.
Is it enlarged? Is that enlarged?
Sorry?
Has it been enlarged?
Yes, I've enlarged it there. Oh, well, I think I've seen them quite big actually. I think I've seen them the size. So exactly, the size of golf balls. So it's you get them quite big. So I presume at the most you could sort of say that's actual size, maybe. But thereabouts. And then right, I'm going to ask again. How many of you recognise this photograph? Okay, not so many. Not so many. Do you think? How many of you think this is a computer-generated image, and how many of you think it's a real place or a photograph? Real place. It is a real place. I suppose it's a slight giveaway that I've just come from the previous photograph. But anyway, never mind. It is a real place. the mountains of Tibet, apparently, and it has this wonderful fractal-like quality, which I couldn't believe it was a photograph when I saw that, but it is a photograph, and there are lots more like it. We'll leave it at those two for now, but
this is a photograph of what?
Mountains in Tibet.
Mountains?
Yeah, the bird's eye view, presumably.
And you're looking down on mountains.
It's surely, yeah, it has to be.
It's Google.
That's got to be snow. It's interesting. I probably should look at more. I mean, you get little fractals everywhere. Look at a tree having branches come off each other. Look at lightning, for example. Lightning strike, you'll have the first lightning that will split off, and then the arms of the lightning will split off again, and so on. Even the human brain is apparently based on a fractal, apparently, where all the blood vessels sort of branch off here, there, and everywhere. And so, I'll skip this one.
But there's another bit of a cheat in the sense that the degree of branching is limited in actual applications as opposed to the way in which you deal with it in mathematics.
Well, I mean, I suppose in the sense that with a tree, it will sometimes not just branch off into two, it will branch off into three or one or four, and then those can branch off further. And of course you get the textures of each branch, and the fact that the leaves at the end aren't quite an exact copy of the original. Maybe that's what you're getting at?
That's right.
Okay, so it goes up to the twigs, and then, right, we're going to have leaves now, which aren't quite the same, but
Or go down to molecules or something.
it's not quite fractal at that level anymore.
That's right.
That's a fair point. But despite that, if you like a mountain, you can zoom in and you can have like a small piece of rock, and you don't know if that's the actual full mountain if you were to look at that as a photograph, or if it was just a small rock. Obviously, if you were there, then you know, but I mean, if you looked at a photograph, then it would be much harder to say. And moving on. So, it's a square, and then we take that picture and we divide it into 9. I think many of you guess what's coming up. And then we take the original picture, put those into the remaining little squares that are created, and of course this is the Sierpinski carpet. Oops. Let's go back. Which is, of course, you can zoom into it forever. You won't really get much like that in nature because they're squares. But it's just an example of a very abstract kind of fractal which you can zoom into here. And I can just scroll around, and you can zoom in literally anywhere, and you'll get more of the same, which is a bit boring for this carpet, but it's just a good example. I say boring, I mean maybe somewhat interesting in one sense, but maybe visually it's a bit bland. We can move going back again. And of course this was made, correct me if I'm wrong, about 100 years ago. Well before computers were introduced.
By who?
I have the notes down somewhere. Maybe someone knows him? I'll find
Usually
out.
they're always
It's
named wrong.
It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. It would not surprise me. This is, of course, a 3D version. Now, let's zoom into that.
So what's the density there?
The density. Oh, now you're asking. Well, I mean, the iteration count is 4 or 5. The density at infinity iterations.
Zero.
Of course, it
Zero
goes on
is
forever.
0 or 1.
It's got 0 volume, hasn't it? Infinite surface area, but 0 volume. Absolutely. Very strange. If you were to keep it,
Not very strong mechanically.
It would be very it would crumble like aerogel, don't you? If you've heard of aerogel. If you had aerogel, you'd crumble it and it would just fall to pieces. But not at this level, because I've only done 4 or 5 iterations. But if you inferior with that, of course you could keep iterating on forever, and then you'd have a very fragile kind of object. But this shape here, I'm just going to zoom back out again. Does everyone have one of these, by the way? No, okay. Glad I printed out more.
That's not
only half size. Oh, this is the same?
Yes, yes.
Is it, everyone has one?
Yes.
Can you make sure to give it to Philip so we can have it digitally, because we're not...
I have it digitally. Oh, if you look at the top, this page is available with hyperlinks at skytopia.com.
Oh, I see.
And I did that because I know how painful it is to type out every single letter of your and it takes forever. So, that will pretty much be exactly what you see. Anyway, so everyone's got a copy, that's fine. So, this is of course the name of the sponge. And if we have a look, of course it's a 3D version of the previous shape we saw, which was this one. This is the 2D version, and this is the 3D. But it's easy to translate the Sierpinski carpet into the main sponge. It's, when I say easy, it's fairly easy, you know. It's not like the Mandelbrot, whereby there's nightmares to try and think out how you can get this shape.
Can you rotate that?
I can, yes. Well, I'll have to load it from here. It won't take a second. Why?
Well, then you can see the 3D nature on the letter, don't you?
Maybe. Let's have a look. Should be somewhere there. There we are.
Sorry.
It's all right. So, how many degrees would you like to rotate by?
Oh, I was thinking of it slowly rotating.
Oh, sort of in real time.
Yes. That trick.
Now you're asking. Well, I mean, I actually, I might be able to do it. I can just.
Sorry, I wasn't expecting to make a challenge. I was just asking whether it was there.
No.
Don't worry.
Yeah, no. I can. It might be slightly tricky. So I'll see. But anyway, so going back to the slideshow. And moving on. There's a zoom in. Same object you saw before, a few more iterations, and well, it's kind of just almost on the surface looking in, and it looks a bit nicer like that. But it's still kind of simple shape. There's kind of squares and cubes. Okay, now we're sort of moving on to the main subject of the presentation. So this was the main, of course, the Mandelbrot set, discovered by Mandelbrot about 30 years ago. As I'm sure most of you will know, he was born Polish, but then he lived in America and France, and unfortunately passed away fairly recently. But of course, his spirit will live on. With this wonderful shape and lots more besides. He contributed a lot to mathematics, especially fractal geometry.